All right, here's a fact that you'll find interesting. Since 1954, the federal government's cash and non-cash expenditures have risen every single year. That's every year. It did not matter who was president, Democrat, Republican, didn't matter who controlled Congress, Democrats, Republicans, or even if the economy was booming or struggling. The U.S. government just kept spending and spending. It was the Energizer Bunny of spending. Our next guest says he has the fix for the nation's debt problem. The government should start running like a small business. Brian Hamilton is co-founder and president of Sageworks. He joins us now here in studio. There are people who say that governments are different than business, but at the end of the day, you eventually cannot spend more than you have, right?
It's always cash in and cash out. And for 58 years, every single year, Republican, Democrat, the government is spending more money. It makes no sense to any organization.
And we should point out that when people in Washington talk about cutting spending, what they're saying is we're cutting the growth rate of spending. You and I, if we have to cut spending, we go from $1 to 90 cents.
Exactly.
In Washington, they say we budgeted $1.50, we cut $1.20 to $1.25, we just saved 25 cents.
Well, crazy logic, right? It makes absolutely no sense. If you want to cut your mortgage bill, you will cut the amount that you're spending every month. The government does not look at it that way. By the way, Jimmy Carter, governor of Georgia, actually implemented the zero-based budgeting program down there, where they started at zero every year and had to validate each expense. So a Democrat, you know.
Let's slow down, because he certainly didn't do that at the federal level.
Right, that's
but
true.
when he was governor of Georgia, he did what was called zero-based budgeting.
Yep, that's
What
correct.
is that in for simpleton terms?
Okay, it is real simple. At the government level, you start with zero. The basic assumption that in your department, you're not getting anything each year, and then you have to validate your expenses. It's the way that you and I run our households, hopefully. And what it does is it makes the government more disciplined in spending. But, of course, it would be hard to do that at the federal level.
At the federal level, the different departments, this is what we got last year. We expect to get minimum that amount this year plus. That's how they budget now.
That's what's killing us, right? 58 years. Now, remember, too, each year the government is spending more money independent of tax revenues, right? And what's coming in on the front side of it. So it's killing our deficit, $16 trillion.
Well, what about the people who say, look, the public expenditures from the federal government as a percentage of GDP
nonsense.
has always been around 18.5%. Why is that nonsense?
We cannot look at that because here's the problem with that. That is just voodoo economics. You remember that term, right?
I do remember that term.
Yeah, of course. It's crazy economics because here's why. Our economy keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. So that deficit or that debt number as a real number keeps going up.
The percentage stays constant, but the real
dollar
goes up.
If you're losing money as a percentage, but that money keeps going up, every year you're in more and more debt, $16 trillion. And remember, we have to pay that money back. It's not abstract. It's real.
I think actually that figure, that percentage is actually around 24%.
That's correct.
Now. And we are actually going to spend, is it roughly $1 trillion that we don't have going forward?
In a good circumstance. Now remember, there's 27 million privately held companies out there. They're making hiring decisions. They are sophisticated. They know how economic structures work. So when they see that, are they going to be really willing to go out and hire people and make expenditures and grow? The answer is it's had a real depreciating effect on their willingness to go out and take risks.
So very quickly, you've got President Obama and Speaker Boehner in a room. You get 20 seconds to tell them what they need to do.
Man, make a plan. Will you just make a plan? Even if it's not a good one, let these private companies know what you're going to do earlier. Don't do it on December 31. We need time to plan for our businesses. You've got to get your act together, compromise. Even if it's not a great plan, please get us something, and then we can go out and hire people. It's simple. It's so simple.
Brian Hamilton from Sageworks, thank you for being with us here in the studio. Have a good day. And